Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Centaurworld Season 2. I'm very excited to talk about this. If you managed to watch my review for Season 1 of Centaurworld, you might have seen in the comments below one of the creators commenting on our review saying, don't worry, it's going to get much darker. And I thought at the time, how can a musical animation series kind of catered for the whole family, but a bit wacky, I say a bit wacky, totally wacky and out there, get even darker than they did because the Nowhere King and that storyline, the way they left it got pretty dark. And I'm happy to say, kind of happy to say, yep, they lived up to their comments. Centaurworld Season 2 review is non-spoiler, so don't worry, you can listen to it and get excited about it, but for now, let's jump in. So the Nowhere King is building an army of minotaurs and other things, and Rider and Horse have to go their separate ways at the end of Season 1 to go and build their own armies to kind of counteract and beat the Nowhere King. But we're still left with a bunch of questions wondering who the Nowhere King is, why he is so upset. I did a kind of a reaction and ending explained where I think it's going to go, and I'm happy to say I was totally wrong. I thought I knew where it was going to go, and I thought I could guess some of the plot points. But I'm happy because where the story goes is so much better than I could have imagined. And it is so much darker. We have 8 episodes. They're about just under the half an hour episodic length for the first 7 episodes. And then the final episode, episode 8, is an hour and 15 minutes long. So they finish with a proper goodbye. And I'm saying goodbye because I don't think we're going to get any more. I think this is a contained story, which is also great in itself, because how often do you get stories that just outlive their... Wow. What am I trying to say, babe?
Outstay their welcome.
Thank you. How often do you get stories that outstay their welcome, where the seasons go on for hours and hours and seasons? Even movies do that. Thankfully, we have a contained story, so I am sad to see it go, but I'm very happy that we have a contained story and all the questions are answered. But you're gonna have to wait to that last episode, because the first 7 really are about the Centaurworld trying to get ready for battle and whether they want to be part of that battle. And in amongst that, we have musical numbers up the wazoo. And now with the first season, I laughed a lot at those musical numbers because I thought they were paced quite well. This time round, I think there are a few episodes where there's too much focused on the musical numbers, and I was like, just get more into the story. But that's not to say that the musical numbers aren't there for a reason. It's not one of those musical numbers when they're singing just for the sake of it. It all has a purpose to the stories. It's built into the story rather than the song just being there for the sake of being there. I have my favorite musical episodes. I'm not a musical buff. I don't go out of my way to watch musical films, but I love Buffy Once More with Feeling because that is integral to the story, and the way they did that is really incredible. And I feel the same way about this. So where it is kind of, you have like 6 musical numbers in one episode, that's okay because it is part of the story. But if you listen carefully and you go back over the episode a number of times, you'll pick up some lines and jokes that I thought, well, they're really kind of, it's not risque, but that's definitely for adults. So where you think you might be watching a series that is catered for the younger generation, I think this is definitely a split. It's like a Pixar film that has jokes that are for adults and then the kids watch for the animation. I think this time around you have adults, where we're in a generation now where adults really enjoy animation, but also there is story and nuance and depth in the stories that are quite dark, and you'll often find yourself going, well, thank goodness my kids don't understand what they're suggesting there, or meaning there, or wait, are they going to go as dark as you think they're going to go? And then they do, and you're like, cool. I really liked how they developed backstory as well. It's a thing that's properly written into the story, not for the sake of, now we're going to have a flashback to build up a character. The way they do it is very clever. I'm not going to mention how they do it because I want you to discover that for yourself. I think you will be very impressed. Once again, the characters' design are fantastic. This whole series is a theme. One of the main series theme is embracing your weird. And I like to think that my family is weird, and I think anybody that knows us will celebrate the fact that both my sons are pretty out there. I'm myself haven't quite learned to grow up yet as a proper adult. I like being a bit geeky and needy. Okay, a lot geeky and nerdy. My wife is... You can have a conversation with her and you'll understand. We are weird, so this is like our very weird cup of tea. We love all the character designs and creations in this. And it's celebrating who you are as a person. And if you're weird and wacky, that's okay. So I do love the theme of that. But then it shows you how each identity is able to bring that kind of completion to the part of the puzzle. Everybody forms their own family unit, and how that is completed is by everybody being a part of that. And it's okay to have new members. It's a lot deeper, and it goes that way, and it's not afraid to sing about it at times. I think most people's favorite character, I think, is Derpleton or Comfortable Doug. And I would say that Comfortable Doug is probably my favorite character again, although there are times I'm trying to understand what the hell these characters are going on about. Like, if you watch the episode a number of times, there are some things that they're saying that is so out there and left field, or they jump from one bit of conversation to another that has no context seemingly, but somehow all makes sense in the whole. It's quite an ingenious thing to be able to do. Or maybe I understand it because it's just crazy, and I get crazy in that way. It's colorful, it's dark, it's very fun. The score is great, but I think it's the soundtrack, well, not the soundtrack, the singing, that part of it, the thought behind the words and how it interweaves, it all has a point, which I think is very interesting. And so seeing the various different types of centaurs that we get kind of come together in the end for the big battle against the Minotaur. You might think it's kind of A plus B equals C storyline, but once you get to the end, you're going to be like, wait a minute, this is not where I thought it was going to go. How did I not see this? It's because it's cleverly written. It all makes sense at the end. And I think it will keep you guessing. I don't think you'll guess what's going to happen, which is great, because in this day and age, we've seen everything, and normally you can guess big plot points. Let me know in the comments below, who is your favorite character? I think a Comfortable Doug character may be replaced with a new character, but I'm not going to say who. Loved the animation, loved the voice work, loved how it came together in the end. Sad it's going, but glad it's finished well. So let me know your thoughts. I'm going to give this 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5. It's a near perfect animation series, bar a couple of too many burst out loud singing moments for me. Some might love it and give this absolutely top marks, and that's fine. I'm just not one who seeks out musical numbers, but I understand that they're necessary for this series. Really, really enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts below. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long Tuesday.